So here we go. Welcome along to the top 8 draft of Pro Tour Nagoya with me, Rich Hagan, and Brian David Marshall, your Pro Tour historian. And we are going to follow the Hall of Famer from Japan, Tsuyoshi Fujita. There you see him. That is a great shirt. I want one.
I think you have one.
There is that. So, Fujita, as in seat 1, the players getting themselves ready. We have Luis Scott Vargas will be feeding Galdanis Vidugiris. You can see. And the players open up. Pack 1.
Count them out.
New
Make sure there's
Phyrexia.
14 cards.
One hopes there's 14 cards. So let us see what the pack has in store for us. Here we go. Tsuyoshi Fujita has opened up. There's a Shriek Raptor there. That looks like a Suture Priest he's looking at. Phyrexian Unlife is the rare at the back on the left of screen. Looks like a Mental Misstep. Caress of Phyrexia going by there. Scrapyard Salvo Immolating Soul Eater. There's a Rotted Hystrix, the 3/6. Phyrexia's Core. That's been a pretty useful constructed card this weekend.
So it's worth noting that this is Tsuyoshi Fujita's 5th or 6th draft in the format.
Probably still reading some of the cards.
Just based on what I've seen of him this weekend, he's going to take either a Suture Priest or a Immolating Soul Eater. He's been drafting very, very aggressive decks.
He takes the Suture Priest, absolutely. Something that Michael Jacob rates very, very highly, I know. So we go to pack 2. There's a Gremlin Mine going by there. Leeching Bite. Evil Presence at the back end. Due Respect. That's not very exciting. Dispatch. And Insatiable Soul Eater. So he shuffles the Gremlin Mine to the front. There's a Surge Node he's having a look at.
He's definitely been taking Metalcraft very highly. So I mean, he may look at that Dispatch as
it's pretty hard to pass up the straight up decent removal, though.
Gremlin Mine.
And there we go. The Gremlin Mine is the pick. So there you see the players. As Fujita goes to pack 3. Flameborn Viren. That looks like a Surgical Extraction, the rare still in the pack. Slash Panther going by.
There's a Remember the Fallen in that pack, which is Grim Affliction is a great removal card. Surgical Extraction, he seems to be paying a lot of attention to. Exhumer, Exarch, and Tumor Exarch.
Yep. Return a creature.
Grim Affliction brings out a lot of black removal in that pack.
Indeed. It's a very black pack. Sensor Splicer. Going by the Vigilant.
He's looking at the Slash Panther and the tasty 4/2. Colorless casting cost.
Yep.
Virtually colorless.
That's a view you don't often see of Luis Scott Vargas. And we're back with Fujita.
Vault Scourge. Almost Reaper of Sheldred.
That's the 2/5. In fact, when it's a source deals it damage, it's got a nice ability. Mutagenic Growths, that's seen plenty of constructed play this weekend.
He's going to take another Sutured Priest here, though.
That seems incredibly likely.
So it looks like a Master Splicer and a Pith Driller have gone out of that pack. Looking at another pack, he's looking at Forced Worship, Gremlin Mine, Spellskite.
There's a Vapor Snag at the front.
It's being fed by Ellie Pichon, in case you're wondering.
So that's another Gremlin Mine.
Looks like Fujita is passing to Kataoka. Kataoka, sorry.
And then... Is that another Mutagenic Growth?
And another Gremlin Mine?
Another Gremlin Mine. You really kill those artifacts. How do you value Apostle's Blessing?
I like Apostle's Blessing quite a bit. So 2 Sutured Priests, a couple of Gremlin Mines, Apostle's Blessing.
Blind Zealot. Not an awful lot of help there. Flameborn Viron.
We saw Flameborn Viron doing some hard work this weekend.
We did. Looks like that may well be where he heads.
Yeah, people have talked a lot about the draft format becoming more "quote-unquote" grindy.
Grindy isn't quite the same as slow, is it?
No, there's a little bit of attrition. It can be an
exclusion ritual.
Yeah.
Uncommon white removal. Gets rid of things like planeswalkers if you need it to.
Gets rid of everything.
Not land.
Oh, well. Everything you want to get rid of.
Yeah. And that's what he's going to take. So we are back to pack the first. So here we go again. The Phyrexian Unlife still there, shockingly. Mental Misstep. Pestilent Soul Eater. Someone infecty is going to like that.
Or not infecty. I mean, what I've seen is a lot of people just taking cards as cards. And, they'll have a mix of infect and non-infect creatures. Yep. And they're just trading creatures and trying to have one thing live.
And that's kind of impacted quite badly on the dedicated infectors, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You can't, you could say, I'm going to be white infect in the first pack, and other people are taking your Priests of Norn because they're, effective blockers, and they just kind of slow down the ground and they fit into their strategy.
Mm-hmm. He's going to take Surgical Extraction here. There's a numbing dose, which, by the way... Oh, he takes the numbing dose. That's a surprise because...
a little grin on Vegeta's face as he thought about the rare draft.
Because numbing dose generally goes right at the back end. If you're playing blue, don't pick those highly. You're going to get them right at the back end.
I got to tell you, I like that Slag Fiend. I'm kind of surprised to see that go very late.
Mm-hmm. Power and toughness equal to artifacts in all graveyards.
Sure, especially with 2 Gremlin Mines. So, every time he's killing an artifact creature with the Gremlin Mine, he's...
Gets bigger. I think one of the interesting things about this archetype that he's heading towards is
Vapor Snag, last pick. That also seems surprising. That's a fine card.
It's right at the back end.
Martin Juza kind of was fantasizing about being in this top 8 draft as he saw a 14th pick Vapor Snag.
It's interesting that the payoff for the white deck comes right at the end, because when you get to Scars, you get your Glint Hawks, you get your Glint Hawk Idols, you get your Kemba's Skyguard. We're heading towards maybe Leonin Skyhunter territory. And it's a deck that kind of gets a lot of the work done in the back part of the draft. So, to start with, when he's looking at the pack there, he's not necessarily looking to have 8, 9, 10 cards that are going to make his deck. He's looking for maybe 6, 7 that are going to be there.
And he's also looking to remain open. I mean, you look at that pack, he could be red or he could be blue, or he could just go an entirely different direction here if he wanted for a second color.
So here we go with Mirrodin Besieged, and there's a Master's Call. Phyrexian Crusader is the rare there. That's a Pierce Strider that he's taking a look at. And
that's a Phyrexian Crusader.
Yep. Protection from red and from white. Frantic Salvage, Pistol Strike. There's a Spread the Sickness there in black as well. Viridian Claw, giving first strike. Piece of equipment. You can see in the background that to his left, Kanawag has already selected his pick. But Vegeta giving us a good look at his pack. Mirren Spy, that'll be going late.
So getting a sense of what's going on around the rest of the table. It sounds like Gidanis Vidigaris is drafting a white aggro deck. Sounds like Alice V is looking at black-green infect.
That is interesting about Vidigaris, because he is only 2 seats away from...
And we actually have another white aggro player. Ellie Pichon is looking to be like white-red Metalcraft aggro.
Wow.
So there's a lot of white drafters already.
In a row. Vegeta may have to shift gears a little here. We'll see. He's looking at a Mere Sire, third up, Sphere of the Suns there. Loxodon Partisan, the 3/4 battle cry for 5. And Quicksilver Geezer return up to 2. And that's what he takes. Interesting. And is that partly because of what came last in Pack 1? That he's starting to think...
That's possible. I mean, he's looking at that pack, and he could very easily be... he could very easily play blue. He was wide open there.
Well, let's see whether that works out for him.
Yeah, looking at a pack with Blister Stick, Shaman, Koth's Courier, Rotwolf. Not a lot for him. I guess maybe a Mirren Spy.
Oh.
Or the Ichor Wellspring probably is what he's going to take. Nope. Blister Stick Shaman. He's back on the red.
Okay.
He's straddling 3 colors right now.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing. Plenty of players seem to be quite comfortable doing that in this draft format.
Oh, there
There's
is
your Leonin Sky Hunter that you're kind of looking for if you're wanting to be white and pretty aggressive. You've got Wellspring. Shriekhorn will be going late. There's an Oculus in blue. Called Oath of Ringleader. That's another card that tends to go very late. Although less so now that, as you say, the format is a little bit more grindy. It turns out that having 4 toughness and 4 power is, pretty presentable.
A couple of Rotwolves flying around. I mean, it sounds like LSG might have made an interesting call here to set himself up in fact, and maybe expected that, drafting for, the final draft of the weekend, that people weren't willing to make the gambit. To, take that gambit to be in fact.
Well, if that's true, it looks to me like there's a Phyrexian Juggernaut there.
I think there was already another Phyrexian Juggernaut before that as well.
Okay. Vegeta takes Divine Offering. He's really going to hate on artifacts.
Yeah, I really would have liked to have seen him take the Slag Fiend there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an underrated card.
So on we go. Rally the Forces, Razorfield Runner. Is that a Phyrexian Hydra? It is indeed. 7/7 Infect. Who is going to get that? Because that card is a beating.
Vegeta's looking at the Loxodon Partisan. And he takes that.
Bit of Battle Cry action at 5. How's it going for him, BDM?
It seems to be going okay. I think that this pack's a little disappointing for him.
Spiraling Duelist, Rusted Slasher. There's a Flare Husk, so he gets a 1-drop. Shimmer Mirror at rare still in the pack. Koth's Courier.
A lot of red cards left.
Yeah.
Spiraling Duelist in the back. Is that a Rusted Slasher?
Yep.
I might take a Rusted Slasher there. Someone's getting past a nice run of Rusted Slashers and Ichor Wellsprings.
So it looks like another Partisan. Oh. He's going to need some good stuff in Scars. So Gruesome Encore. Maybe that'll end up with Luis Scott
Yeah,
Vargas.
obviously.
It actually may, because it may be the last card in the pack by the time it gets round to LSV.
Time Trike, Koth's Courier.
Phyrexian.
Now there's another Rusted Slasher.
Mm-hmm. Raphael Levy was saying that Banishment Decree is a very big card in the white aggro deck.
I like that card quite a bit. I've played a fair amount of White Poison, I'll admit, in this draft format.
Mm-hmm.
And Banishment Decree is a, it's a fine combat trick, or a fine, you want to just get in with one more guy.
Not an awful lot of excitement left. Razorfield Rhino goes into the pile. 4 cards left. There's a Training Drone. No one's tried to go Training Drone then.
No, Jordy Tate's not in this draft.
Mirren Spy comes up. It's funny, when you play blue and you see Vidalcan, you're thinking, is this an Anatomist? Oh, it's an Infuser. It's one of the big disappointments in life.
Contested Warzone.
Turn the Tide we saw do bizarre things yesterday. It's like a card that nobody plays. But someone did yesterday to very good effect.
And a last pick Training Drone.
Yeah.
Or second one. Oh, there's the Turn the Tide.
So, 2 packs gone. And almost by accident, he has ended up with a bunch of blue cards. Because, as we kind of guess from what's coming that way round from his right, not a lot of white.
Did not get a lot of white, yeah.
But he does at least get first dibs on the white.
Going back the other way, sure. He should be set up. If white's, people feel white's deepest in the third pack.
And this,
he's
I'm
in a
going to
good
say,
position for it.
This is the pack where you want it. Looking at his Strider, Slash Panther, couple of Loxodon Partisans at 5. Got the Exclusion Ritual out at the moment, thinking about the Rusted Slasher. Players get 30 seconds between Pack 1 and Pack 2, then 45 seconds between Pack 2 and Pack 3, and then just the 30 minutes between Pack 3 and sitting down for Round 1. So here we go, back to where it all began. Scars of Mirrodin, Sky Eel School. He
Tumble
flicks towards the
Magnet,
back.
Trigon of Corruption, Mindslaver.
Throne of Geth, Tainted Strike. There's a Alpha Tyrannax for you dinosaur fans out there. Blade Tribe Berserkers. I think it's fair to say this has been the busiest weekend for Mem Night for a bit. I've seen plenty of action. Tumble Magnet towards the back, but I guess he's heading towards the blue, and the blue fly with the Sky Eel School.
It's going to be that or Tumble Magnet, but I think he's taking the school.
Takes the flyer, so he's not precisely off his plan, but making a new one. And it's a format that really rewards players who are prepared to formulate a new plan as you go along. It's pretty hard to choose early. Asceticism was the rare going by there. Turn to Slag, quality removal, of course. A mere steady progress.
What was taken out of this pack?
There's a Bellowing Tangleworm going by. Looks to me like it might be a Slice in Twain missing.
Nope.
Oh no, Slice in Twain's still there.
Sure. Copper Mirror still there?
It is. No, spell one. And he's going to take the Copper Mirror. Volshot Replica, maybe? Didn't spot that in the pack.
No, I guess so.
First pick Volshot Replica. Okay. There's a Grasp of Darkness at the front of the pack there. Icaclaw Mirror, Clone Shell, Vigil for the Lost at the back. And he's looking at the Neuroc Invisimancer, the 2-1 for 3.
He's just staying on cheap, evasive creatures.
Mm-hmm. And if we're right that LSV is heading towards Green-Black Infect, this is the pack again where that really pays off.
Yeah, I have it on good authority that he's stayed the course throughout Pack 2, which I assume means Rotwolves were getting his way a few seats away.
Yep. And there's another Invisimancer.
See a Plague Stinger.
2 seats away from here is LSV. Only one player stands between LSV and that Plague Stinger. It's a Stoic Rebuttal. Is there room for Stoic Rebuttal in this format?
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
Sure. I mean, there's room for everything. You just have to, build your deck around it.
Mm-hmm. So there are the players. Pishon, Vidugaris, LSV, Shaftman, Cox, Tila, Kadooka, and back to Vegeta. Golem Artisan, that's a very powerful card. But he's looking at the Neuroc Replica as well. Depending on your viewpoint, a 5-mana bounce spell or a really good roadblock followed by something properly irritating.
So, looking around the table, it sounds like Teal is black-green removal-ish, is the way he's described. LSV, Vidugaris, and Ellie are still sticking the way they were. Sharfman switched to a blue-red control build. Cox is switched to a black-red control build going into Pack 3.
Another Alpha Tyrannax, Blister Grub. Bladed Pinions, Volshock Replica, Liquimetal Coating, Palladium Mirror, one of the nicer pieces of acceleration in the set. And I guess what is nice is if he's going to be playing those Loxodon 3/4s,
yeah,
he can accelerate those out of turn early by jumping from 3 to 5. And on we go. Disperse. Bit of white removal at the back end. Dispense Justice. Thrumming Bird, that's interesting.
Cheap creature that flies.
Oh, yeah.
But now he's going to take the Dispense Justice.
I mean, he has every chance of that being 2. Hasn't he? Not just 1. So, closing in on the back end of the draft here at Pro Tour Nagoya. Gold Mirror. It's a Flight Spellbomb, Disperse, Mere Reservoir. Plenty of the usual late game suspects, Blunt the Assault. Doesn't see a lot of play, it's fair to say.
Sounds like Kadooka may have switched into Green Infect at some point. And is taking the Green Infect cards in Pack 3, which may be affecting Luis's plan.
Silver Mirror.
We'll have to see during deck building.
For Vegeta. So, 5 cards left in the draft. Not going to see an awful lot from here on in. There's a Soul Parry, Bonds of Quicksilver.
Crossing his fingers for a mere Galvanizer at this point.
He takes the Soul Parry, which can be very good when you run a couple of aggro guys in to try and get the last few points and you don't lose your 2 guys. Ogre Gear Grabber at the back. Takes Blunt the Assault. No Golem Foundry. That will find a home very late. Echo Circlet, the blue counterspell he takes. Passes Steady Progress.
D's up a Dross Ripper. Can't have any cheap creatures out there.
White Sun's Passage. To close the top 8 draft of Nagoya. Oh! Do you know, he pulled that face in London 6 years ago. He was like, oh, what was that? What was I doing? What was I thinking? Where are all the good cards? Glinthawk's none. Glinthawk Idol's none. Kemba Skyguard's none.
Yeah.
Darksteel Axe's none. Silvok Lifestaff none. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. So that is the top 8 draft. That's Tsuyoshi Fujita. Looking reflective, it's fair to say. Well,
that is not to say there weren't Glinthawks and Glinthawk Idols in the draft. Looking through the packs, it looks like there were some there. But as we said, there were some other players who were also in white early and stayed in white.
Seems very unfair of the other players at the draft to, not cooperate with you. So there you have it. That is the state of play in the draft. Mark out of 10 BDM for that.
Martin Juza just put up an 03. He thought that was an 03 draft deck. Should you do team drafts? You only get one shot with it, though, in this format.
Indeed, you do.
It does. It didn't look like that draft went very well for him. It looked like he, the way the dynamics of the table played out and the dynamics of the packs, he did not get the cards he was looking for. There were, watching him during the Swiss rounds drafting, he was taking cards like Gust Skimmer very high. He was going for a Metalcraft strategy, very, very aggressive. And, the cards did not play out for him that way.
One of the things that's always interesting, you hear people talking shorthand, if you like, about, I got a 3-0 deck, I got a 2-1 deck, my deck's awesome. And the thing is, there's only 24 packs in the draft. There are only so many. There's only 24 uncommons from each set around. And sometimes they're incredibly powerful uncommons. Sometimes they are not. And you never know till you see all 8 decks quite how things are going to pan out, which is kind of where we're heading. The players now know what cards they have to work with. And the next step is to kind of find, the 40 cards that are going to propel them to the title. And for that, they have 30 minutes. So they've got their homework to do, and so have we. And we will be back 30 minutes from now with the results of their labours. So
we'll see who they're playing.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how the matchups are going to pan out. Okay, Bruce, we done? And we will see you in 30 minutes from now.